Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Thank you for joining. Thank you for coming on in. Just give me a second. Let us get this thing going on. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pass this over to my wife and let her do some sharing for me. Copy the link. Just give me 1 second. I'll get some people in here. I really wanted to get started at 9 for you guys, but I wanted to get started a little bit earlier, I should say, so I can thing. But jump on in, come on in, come on in. Just type a message and then hit send, and then copy your message. For now, come on in, guys. Come on in. Come on in. Thank you for coming on in. Do me a favor and share the live. We got a lot to talk about. We have a lot to talk about. Every time I try to share it, it doesn't want to share on my Facebook. So just do me a favor and go ahead and share this for me. It's been a crazy week, isn't it, y'all? It's been a really crazy week. It's been stupid crazy. Just bear with me. I'm just going to share this a little bit, get some people in here because we want to have an actual conversation, and this is not going to be something where I'm just, just talking. I want to learn from you guys. That's my thing, is that I want to learn. I'm not Mr. Know-it-all by any means, so I need to learn from you guys. I really need to learn from you guys because I'm confused. There's a lot going on, and boy, when I tell you confusion is setting in. If you feel like if you've been paying attention to anything, the media, COVID, protests, presidential candidates, I mean, it's crazy. Hold on 1 second, guys. Hold on 1 minute. Yeah, like I said, man, it's been going crazy. Just share the video, bring some friends in, especially if there's somebody that you've been arguing with over the week about anything that's been going on in the media. Definitely bring them in so we can have a conversation. That's my thing, is conversations. I feel like we could talk about it, we could work through it. If we could talk about it, we could work through it, right? We can talk about it, we could work through it. All right, so let me just go back over here and make sure that's still going. All right, that's still going. All right, guys, thank you for coming in. And I really appreciate everybody joining us. The first thing I want to do is I want to talk about the fact that I want to talk about something that I've heard from a couple of people that some close to me and some not close to me. Everybody thinks I'm a Trump supporter. All of a sudden, everybody thinks I'm a Trump supporter. Let me clear the air. For you guys. Number one, when Trump was up for election, before Trump ran for election, I'm a businessman, right? So before Donald Trump ran for election, Donald Trump was somebody that I read books. I would look, kind of look up to him in the way that he was a mover and a shaker. He get things done. He knew how to move things and get things done, right? So that was somebody. He was always somebody that was on my radar. I like the fact that he was always in control of a situation. He always knew what was going on within his businesses, and he always knew how to wiggle his way through. No matter what was going on, he would always figure some kind of way to wiggle his way through. That's a type of thing that I look up to. So I looked up to that in Donald Trump before I heard anything about Donald Trump running for president, right? And then, he put his ring in the hat and whatever, and, everybody was like, yo, this racist is running for president, and that was the first thing, the media started going with, and me, like everybody else, was like, well, I see his business practices, I know he's a mover and a shaker. I know he's trying to get things done. But at the same time, I don't want a racist running the country. I just that's not something that you know that I feel like is going to be beneficial for anybody. So, like everybody else, I voted for Hillary. I did not vote for for Donald Trump at all. Uh, had no intention to, right? Had no intention to run for him at all. And because and it's not even that I did research and looked at his policies, or I did research on Hillary and looked at her policies. Nothing like that. It was more like my family was like, "Are you stupid? Are you even thinking remotely thinking about voting for that guy? Like you can't possibly do that. Like not after, you know, not after we done raised you and fed you and, you know, and you know, like are you ready to be the outcast of this family type of thing? Like, you know what I mean? That's kind of what it was. And I didn't you know, when you're in the voting booth, you don't have to tell anybody what you're voting for, right? Or who you're voting for. You can go in the you can tell everybody you're voting for XYZ and go in the voting booth and vote for the next man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I voted for Hillary Clinton. I voted for the Hillary, right? I voted for her. I really voted for her. Thank God she didn't win, because if she did, I would have been, you know, I would have been feeling real bad right now, because I would have felt like I helped that. Well, in that election, there were also other choices, but it was more prevalent. I forgot who. You know, there was another candidate that, you know, that was looking, you know, like he was maybe wanting to give a little 13% of the vote or whatever, but nobody paid attention. Nobody was paying attention to that candidate, so that candidate didn't even really have a chance. So it was really, if you were going to vote for that candidate, it was looking to you like you were gonna be wasting your vote. Everybody was saying, like, why are you gonna waste your vote? A vote for an independent candidate is a vote for the other guy, because you're in a sense wasting your vote. All right, so I fell for it, and I voted for the Hillary. 4 years later, 3 years plus later, and here I am, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I'm not gonna make this mistake again, because I mean, all right, here's what. I came from a country. I'm not American by birth. I'm American through way of citizenship, right? I had to go study. I had to go study on all the laws and all the everything about America, just to become a citizen of the country, right? Even though I've lived here pretty much all my life. I came here when I was 7 years old, but I came from a country where I remember you could not tell anyone who your family was voting for. I was too young to think about voting, but when it was election time, we weren't allowed to go to school. I remember not being allowed to go to school simply because it was an election, simply because your parents wasn't going to run the risk of their child going out there and saying something that somebody didn't want to hear at election time and put your whole family in jeopardy, because that's what happens. Your whole family's in jeopardy, right? I don't know. I have left Jamaica a long time ago. I've never, you know, paid attention to Jamaica elections after that. Never really paid attention to too much elections. This is the first time I'm actually going to say, before I cast my vote, I'm going to be fully educated on whoever I put my vote in for, right? Now, in the news, there's a lot about Joe Biden. There's a lot about Donald Trump. There's a whole lot. And nobody can say anything negative. I mean, positive, sorry, I should say. There's nothing positive, because I've been asking. It's been a long week, like I said. I've been asking around, and nobody can tell me anything positive about either Joe Biden or Donald Trump. I can't get one positive thing that either one of these people have done. Now, I'm not talking about America. Give me a second, America. I'm not talking about America. I'm talking about black folk right now, right? There's nothing that we can say that either one of these candidates have ever done for us, right? A lot of people got caught up in the fact where Obama, President Obama, former President Obama, was a black man. Was a very charismatic black man. He knew how to speak, and you know, me like everybody else, I couldn't even vote when I didn't have a vote when Obama was up for president. Neither one of his terms, but I did my part. My part. I was so amazed that a black man was going to be, you know, had a chance of even being a president of this country that I was taught I was taught in history school that in order to be a president of this United States, you need to be a 50-year-old white male. Period. That was what I was taught in history school, in history class in 5th grade. Right? I will never forget it. That's exactly what I was taught. And that goes to show you how deep the whole racism and classism and every other kind of ism works in this U.S. You know, it's all about division. And you can't tell me anything, because when a little boy from Jamaica come here and in the 5th grade is being told that the only person that can be a president of this United States of America, this great United States of America, is a white man over 50 years old. I mean, I'm sure the guy pulled it out of his ass. But that's what he taught us. That's what he taught us. Right? But it was proven correctly until Obama. And then when Obama, the first election of Obama, I was amazed. I was amazed. Here's this black man. They said never was going to be, and I was telling people there's no way. History class said that can't happen. So you guys wasting your vote voting for him. Until I saw the wave. And this guy kept on speaking very well. He said everything everybody wanted to hear. And everybody jumped on the wave, and I was like, wait a minute, this might happen. This guy stand a chance. America might just get a black president. I couldn't vote, but guess what I did? I told everybody I knew. I drove around with posters on my car. I was excited. I was very excited, super excited. Second term, same thing. Never did any kind of research. Didn't even bother. The man had the same color as my skin. And I was told back in history class in the 5th grade that never was I going to see a black man, or a woman for that matter. Well, wouldn't you know? You got Hillary running. You got Obama was president. Right? It just goes to say that, you know, most times, especially in the world that we live in today, most people will go ahead and do things just based off of feelings, emotions, right? That's exactly what I was operating off of. I was operating off of feelings and emotions. That's it, right? Nothing more, nothing less. Feelings and emotions. And really and truly, where did it get us? You know, where did it get us? Okay, fast forward, right? Let's get that out of the way. Fast forward. I finally get a vote, right? I finally get my citizenship, and it's time for me to vote. I got 2 idiots to vote from. 2 complete idiots. I got Hillary Clinton coming on the radio station talking about she has hot sauce swag in her bag. You're pissing me off with your pandering, so I damn sure don't want to give you your vote. I can side with the rest of America that says we need a woman president now, because of all this time we've had white males over 50, and then all of a sudden that cycle got broken. We got a black man. So then the woman comes up and it's like, okay, well, hey, women deserve a shot. Why not? Black man has got a shot. Why not give the woman a shot? Never did any research on her. Never did any research on her. Everybody was telling me that this guy's a racist, so you can't vote for him, and women deserve a shot. Never did any research on her. The only kind of thing that I knew about Hillary is that she stayed with her husband after he got head in the office. That's the only thing I knew about Hillary. I was like, well, maybe she's a decent woman. She stick with her man. Realizing now that she had a political agenda behind it, she couldn't just leave him and then try to run for office later. That shit wouldn't have worked out. But, okay. Fast forward to now. There has been everything telling us that don't vote for, we can't put this guy back in office because he's a complete idiot. He done messed everything up for the last 4 years. Put the whole country in shambles. Whatever you want to believe, my beliefs are my beliefs, your beliefs are your beliefs. This is not about trying to convince you of anything. Except what to think. Right? That's the only thing this is about. Right? So everybody's telling me, don't vote this guy back in office, he's an idiot. Right? The other half is saying you can't vote for this guy because this guy is another idiot. He hasn't done anything good. He's just riding Obama's coattails, and Obama didn't even do anything. And every time he gets in an interview, he's either falling asleep or he's talking about Obama. So, I mean, okay, which idiot do I vote for? Again, here we go, in the same damn predicament. Well, there are other choices. There are other candidates, and we all know. I don't need to tell you. The media manipulates things. There's a whole nother candidate out there, and me and you never heard about it. I heard her name yesterday for the first time. There's a whole nother candidate out there. And I'm not even going to call her name here. I'm going to leave it up to you to find it. Because that's my thing. I'm not here to tell you to do this or try to convince you to do anything or I want us to think, right? But I'm not gonna stress on that. There's another candidate out there. Please check it out. There is another choice, right? There is another choice. I don't want to hear this crap about vote for the lesser of the two evils. Please, I don't want to hear it anymore, right? I don't want to hear it no more. We owe ourselves a due diligence. We owe our children due diligence to find out who is who. Period. We can't just be voting just to be voting anymore. It don't even make sense anymore. All right? So I'm not gonna go on and on about that. The next thing I want to bring to attention is, the COVID-19 thing. Guys, if you guys don't know, if you can't see by now that COVID-19 was some more than it was shoved in our face, way more than it actually is, then we're really not gonna waste no time on it. If you got something to add to that, just add it, because I know people suffered from the disease. I don't know anybody that died from the disease, but I know people that tell me that they know people that died from the disease. So I'm not gonna sit here and try to tell you that the thing is not real. But what I will tell you is, when something doesn't make sense, look further into it. And there's no way you can sit here and justify in your mind that we were locked down for 3 months, and then all of a sudden, it's okay for everybody to go out and protest. I mean, it's not. I'm not going to tell you what to think, but I'm going to tell you to think. Right? I'm not going to tell you what to think, but I'm going to tell you to think. Another thing I'm going to talk about. This whole entertainment complex called the interwebs, right? It's an entertainment complex. That's what it was designed for at first, right? It was designed for entertainment, and actually, it was designed for secretaries. It was designed for secretaries to get off of the doggone keyboard right? I mean, to get off of all the filing and all. That's what it was designed for. Then it moved to entertainment, right? And after a while, it grew, and it grew, and it mutated. And what it is now, it's a tool to control us, right? Now, my people, we'll get on this internet when we'll talk the most foolishness all day, right? We'll talk because we're an entertaining bunch of people. We like to be entertained. We like to entertain each other, and that's great. That's awesome. That's awesome because laughing is key for life. You understand? You want to have a short life? Walk around here miserable, and see how quick you go dead. Walk around here miserable all your life and see how quick you go dead. It's not gonna last you very long, but it really won't. See, but we're entertaining people. We like to get on and we like to entertain each other, and we like attention, and we like well, we're an entertaining bunch. We're just a fun bunch of people, right? So it's easy for us to get sucked into this, right? Into this whole interwebs thing because of the entertainment, because there's so much of it to fly by, and you got the TikTok, the this, the that, the other thing, the Snap, the this, the that, the other, and it's all entertaining and it's all fun, right? But here's the thing that I'm seeing. I'm seeing where it's coming to a time, not coming to a time, it's been at a time where things are serious. Things are really, really serious. We're all being attacked. We're all being attacked, whether you're white, black, Chinese. You are, if you're not 1%, if you don't control the media and you're not sitting high in government, we're being attacked. We're being attacked. This is a consumer economy. It's a consumer economy, and you and I are the consumers. Right? You and I. You know what past gold? You know what the most the number one commodity is right now? It's data. It's data. It's your data and my data. You guys remember Cambridge Analytics? Do some research on that company. You guys might not remember it. It came out. They were a big story in the news. What they did is, when we were on Facebook, some of you guys remember this. It was on We were on Facebook, and you would go into a little app that would tell you, it would do something. It would tell you change your face, or it'll tell you something, or they had a bunch of these apps. But whenever you hit that app, you would have to hit accept, and when you hit accept, there's a bunch of fine print that none of us read. And what that did was it allowed Cambridge Analytics to download all of your personal information from Facebook and put it in storage. And now they can sell that to companies. But not only did they take your information, you also gave them you also gave the permission to take all the information off your friends list. So me personally, I had 5,000 friends at any given time, roundabout. So if I pressed in one of those things, not only did it get me, it scanned down all of my whole friends list and pick up everybody's information and store it in a data system. It was all over the news. Well, not all over the news, but they were in and out of the news. They didn't really dig on it, but the information is out there, guys. You look for it yourself. Cambridge Analytics. Think about that company. That company never went away. These companies don't go away. These companies change names. That's what they do. But anyway, information is the number one commodity right now. Not information, data. Your data, my data, personal data. Everything it's past gold. I'm trying to figure out what I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to find a company that I can invest in. That's what I'm trying to do. Hey, that's what's out there, right? But regardless of what, guys, I want you guys to realize that these companies are taking advantage of us. What they're doing. I can't even say taking advantage because I'm a businessman. So there's two sides of every story, right? So because when you come into the car dealership, right? If I'm selling cars and you come to the car dealership, right? And You don't know that this car has a sticker price on it, $10,000 over sticker, but you fall in love with that car because of the paint job. And you don't realize that we just put a $500 paint job on that car, put a little pinstripe on it, and put a $10,000 addendum on it, and the car looks one of a kind. Now you walk into the dealership. If you're willing to pay that $10,000 over, why the hell should I not charge you? You know, from the business aspect of it. Like, why should I not charge you if you're willing? Because I have other cars in a dealership that's not $10,000 over sticker price, but you want this one because I put a $500 extra little paint job on it, and I paid the pinstripe guy, Pinstripe Larry, came along and put a little pinstripe on it for $250, and you're willing to spend $10,000 more for that car. I've sold them. I've sold them. Plenty of them. You know, so from the business aspect of it, the people are only going to do what we allow them to do. The people are only going to do what we allow them to do, right? I have another, which brings me to another one, because I've been having another conversation going on where a lot of people are saying, well, Donald Trump, a lot of negatives that I'm hearing about Donald Trump is that he cut this and he cut that and he cut this and he cut that. Well, that's part of the dependency. If you really think about it, like Section 8 programs, that's part of the dependency. That's, you know, it might seem like it really, it's a thing that for us, but I mean, I've seen people been on Section 8 for years and years and years and years and years and get complacent on Section 8. I've seen it. Don't tell me it don't exist. I've lived in other states where people get Section 8 and rent their Section 8 apartment out to another person. They sublet it. I've seen it. You're not telling me those things don't exist. We hurt ourselves, people. Brings me to another point. Why are black people always waiting for a white savior? And I'm sorry if that offends anybody. Why are we always waiting for a white savior? Why are black people, melanated people, always waiting for a white savior? If it's not Jesus is going to save us, it's going to be Joe Biden's going to save us, or it's going to be Donald Trump that's going to save us. When are we going to save ourselves? When are we going to save? And I know. Don't get into the comments and start telling me about, you know, we didn't have the right start. We didn't have an equal start as the other people in this country. You're absolutely right. We did not. You're absolutely right. We did not, and we're still owed. And we're still owed. But if we keep on laying down and keep on depending on these same people to spoon feed us through Section 8 and through Medicare and through all these little things, we're going to stay dependent on them, and we're going to keep on needing them. That's just part of the trap. It's just a part of the trap. That's all that. It's just a part of the trap. We can't get. How are you going to get away from your slave master if you're not willing to stop eating the food that he's giving you? God gave us everything that we need to survive. Not only survive, but to thrive. God gave us everything we need to thrive in this world. Everything we need. There's not a man-made thing on earth that we need to thrive. God gave it all to us. God gave it all to us. But somewhere along the line, some sneaky set of men, not sneaky, they were smart. They were smart. I give Caesar what's due to Caesar. I believe in giving Caesar what's due to Caesar. They were smart. A smart set of men. They came in and they convinced, somewhere along the line, they convinced humanity that, or the majority of humanity, that we don't need the land. We don't need the land to survive. The land is not what we need to survive. We need the things that they have made. We need the system that they have put together. That's what we need. It's a damn lie. It's a damn lot. You know, there's nothing. Everything that they've made is to take us further away from the earth. And if you just do a simple little thing as to when you cut your tomato to get your slice of tomato for your salad, or you scrape out the seeds and put in a little bit of dirt and let that tomato plant grow. And when that tomato plant grows, eat a tomato off of it. Eat a couple of tomatoes off of it. That is going to spark something in you. That itself is going to spark something in you, because the food now that you, that piece of fruit that you just had, that you grew yourself from nothing, from a seed, it's going to spark something to you. I promise. Try it. It's going to spark something to you. And little by little, you start to realize that, little by little, or I start to realize, and everybody that I know that, you know, are gardeners, and we realize that it's nice to have the fancy house. It's nice to be able to jump in the car and drive down to. That stuff is not necessary. There's none of it. That stuff is not necessary. And when you're able to detach from all of that stuff, then it's easier for you to reject the systems that they're put in place. A lot of us won't reject the systems that they put in place because we've tried so hard. We've struggled and everything. You know, all our life we've learned that you've got to work hard and you've got to achieve this thing, and you've got to achieve and you've got to achieve and you've got to build and you've got to. But all these achievements and all this building and all this, you realize that it's all man-made. And it's all material things, and all it's been doing is making us into consumers. I mean, with the nice fancy cars and the fancy jewelry, and the fancy dress with the big earrings. And listen, I love looking at people. I'm not telling anybody don't carry yourself well. I'm not telling anybody don't carry yourself well, but we go extra. We go extra. I saw a post the other day. This was a credit repair person. So, she's not talking out the side of her neck. She's a credit repair person. And what the post was it's crazy. My people will go out and buy a 2009 Charger for 23% interest rate with a 5.8 credit score. 589 credit score, and get a 23% interest rate on a 2009 car, instead of just using a portion of the down payment that you would have used, buying something that you can actually afford. Give some of your money to the credit repair person. Because we're always talking about, getting better out of life, and we're always talking about this and that and the other thing. But when are we going to do for us? Here's the other part about it. We're always talking about, especially now, I hear there's a lot of posts on here talking about support black business, support this and support black business and support black business. Guys, black business, we do more than just restaurants. Every time I see one of these black business posts, it's somebody asking for a restaurant in their area. Yes, we do cook the best. We do cook the best food that your taste buds are used to. So I can understand wanting to go to a black restaurant. But hey, newsflash, we have other businesses other than just restaurant. So think about your black brother or your black sister in any kind of business that you're doing. Anytime you try to go spend money, when you go get those hair done, make a post and ask if there's a black beautician. I've never seen those posts. I only see these posts about restaurants. Newsflash, guys, we do more than cook. We built a country, if you haven't realized. I know it's hard to realize because the media doesn't tell you how powerful you are. And the media doesn't tell you that the majority of these inventions that you see come strictly out of the slaves of these slave masters that invented them. Guys, we have to realize, listen, man, it's easy to sit here and blame somebody else for our problems. It's easy. It's very easy. And I'm not, listen, I know we work for 250 plus years for free. I know. For companies that still exist in America today. I know we're owed. My personal opinion, U.S. cotton should be black people. We should own that. U.S. cotton should be dismantled, and we should own that, period. They've had enough. That's just my feeling. That's just one, but that's just one of the companies. But that's a whole another conversation. You know, and these are the things when we're out protesting, because like I said, there's a whole ball of energy right now with the protests, right? We have protests galore, and there's plenty of peaceful protests out there. There's plenty of young guys out here that's peaceful, very young guys, 16, 17, 13, 12 years old, that's seeing what's going on, and they've already been in run-ins with police, and they already see what's going on at their school, and they already see what's going on when they go into the store and somebody has to watch them, and they already see what's going on, that if they live in a good neighborhood, they can't walk home from school because of the fear of some racist will come and chase them down and shoot them in the back because they're in the wrong neighborhood. Like, it's all there, and I know it's there, guys. I'm not saying it's not there, but at the same time, what are we going to do for us? So when we're out there at these protests, and we're out here on these online engaging in these conversations, instead of fighting with the next man about who they're voting for, or why they're voting for that person, or I'm gonna cut you off because let's turn the conversation, use the energy and turn the conversation. Hey brother, what can you do, or what do you think? Here's a way to put it. You ain't gonna offend nobody, and if somebody gets offended, oh well, find another way. The next time somebody wants to argue with you about whether you're, who you're voting for, come on, ask them. Say, brother, or sister, how can I help our situation? What do you think that I can do to help our situation? And hear them out. Don't just ask the question and let it fall on deaf ears. Hear them out. Hear them out, because you never know what you're going to hear. You never know what you're going to hear. But at the very least, they might not be able to answer you. They might not be able to answer you. And if they can't answer you, then there's your opportunity. There's your opportunity. But try it. Take a different approach. When you see somebody that is voting for that if your man is Biden and you're riding for Biden, when you see somebody riding for Trump, ask them, especially if they're a black person, ask them, say, hey brother, what do you think I can do to try to make our situation better in America? Because the president can only do so much. The president, he can't even make laws. All he can do is executive orders and sign the laws into, sign whatever the congressman brings to him. That's all he can do. He's a puppet. He's really a puppet. The power's in the people's hands. Right? And the last thing we need is separation and division. The last thing we need right now is more separation and more division. It's not going to work out good for anybody. It's not going to do anything for any of us. And the separation is ridiculous, man. I just want that. If I don't if nothing else, don't tune in. I'm trying to figure the right thing to say that I might touch somebody. If nothing else, don't tune in. The separation is not going to work for us. Separation is not going to work for us. If you've blocked somebody over these last couple of weeks because of their opinion, shame on you. Shame on you. Shame, shame, shame on you. Because you cost yourself an opportunity to possibly learn something. And more than that, you cost yourself an opportunity of possibly teaching somebody something. Because everything is exchanged. Everything is exchanged. It's either you're gonna be gaining from me or I'm gonna be gaining from you. We're not just gonna be right. But if we're constantly going at each other, that's a good way for us to stay level, because I'm never gonna hear anything you have to say. And you're never going to hear anything I have to say. So I won't be able to learn nothing from you. And you won't be able to learn nothing. You know how much I've learned just listening to other people's opinion? You know how much I've learned from Biden supporters over the last couple of weeks? Biden supporters. I learned about the census. I learned black people, we've been fucking ourselves with the census. Excuse my language. We need to research that census. We really need to research that census. You know, and I haven't really heard anybody talk on it, you know, out loud. I made a post the other day, and a couple people came in and said, "Yeah, you're right," you know, and a couple other people were like, "Yeah, well, yeah, I do it," you know, but it's the minority of us that actually take part in that. But those numbers, we use those numbers to count how much we're getting killed by. We use those numbers to say, well, you know, we're not getting so and so, our schools aren't getting funded well, and then we don't do the census. I can tell you, I have a household of 8. For 2020, there's 8 people out here that the U.S. don't know about in this neighborhood right here, in my house. I'm just saying. How many others? How many others? And as long as I've lived in America, every time this census thing came out, everybody in the hood, today was the first, yesterday was the first time I came across another black person that says they do the census. That's the thing we've been screwing ourselves on. So like I said, sometimes you gotta learn from others. Like, I don't right now, if the vote was held today, I'd be confused like hell. Because I haven't done enough research. So I'm glad we still got some time and we still have some research to do, right? And we got to realize that we got to take things in our own control, man. We can't be sitting out here talking about we want this and we want that and we want that, and we're just gonna lay down and wait for some president to do it for us. It's not happening. It's just not happening. At the beginning of Trump's presidency, when my family, because the rest of my family, I voted Hillary, and you know, when he actually won, everybody in the house was looking booky. Everybody in the house was looking real booky. Because everybody was after Hillary. Me personally, I didn't give 2 shits because I was going to have an awesome year regardless of what, because I create my destiny. Me. I create my destiny. So I was going to have an awesome year regardless of what. And I'm going to tell you again, regardless of who becomes the president this time around, I'm going to have an awesome 2020 or 2021. And the rest of those 4 years, because I'm going to create my destiny. I don't care what they do in Congress. I don't care. It might affect me, but like I started to say, like I started to say when I was giving Trump his props, that's one of the things I admire about him. He can adapt, he can wiggle, he's a mover and a shaker. So I don't give a damn what the White House wants to do. I don't care what Congress wants to do. Me personally, Andre Johnson and his family, we're going to have a good year. Because I declare that, and I'm going to make that happen. One which way or the other. If I got to change gears, I got to change gears. If I start out this way, and it just don't work, it ain't working around. Guess what? I'm gonna shift, and I'm gonna come over in this lane, and I'm gonna ride this lane. If this lane don't work out, I'm gonna shift again, and I'm keep on shifting until I find a lane that's gonna work. And it's usually not that hard. I usually don't have to do that much shifting, because a lot of what we don't understand, or a lot of what we're made to not believe in, is our power of self. Is our power of self. Like, you're a powerful human being. But we first have to start with the mind. We first have to start by knowing we can. We first have to start by knowing we can. We have a few months left. There's a lot of things that can change just for the election. And there's a lot of people that don't even want to hear election talk. A lot of people want to hear, hey, what are we going to do about the protests and about the police and Ray and Ray? If you're one of those people, and you don't want the political talk, you just want to keep protesting, okay, I'm with you. Let's keep protesting. But I got a real important question. What is our end goal? What is our end goal? And with that, I'm going to wrap this up. I want to thank everybody for joining me. Y'all have a great night. I love everybody. Keep it 100. Don't cut people off just because of their opinion. Never cut somebody off of their opinion. You just cost yourself a chance of either learning something or teaching something. Love somebody. Spread love. Accentuate positives. Eliminate negatives. The little basic stuff that that we learned in middle school. That's the kind of stuff we need to get back to. Love, honor, and respect. The stuff that goes without saying. That's the stuff that we need to get back to. But I love y'all. Have a great night.